If I were to ask you for a famous wrestling acronym, what would you say? DX, NWO, LWO, NWA? No, not that one. Now, if I were to ask you what's the most dangerous acronym in professional wrestling, what would you say? That's a joke. Most people will give me RKO, Randy Orton. But if I were to ask you what's the most egotistical, self-centered acronym in professional wrestling today, I think most people would give me 3 letters. 3 letters that propelled itself above mostly all. In a sport of kings and conquerors, this acronym has became the guy. I'm talking about MJF. MJF, or Maxwell Jacob Friedman, is currently in his second AEW Men's Heavyweight Championship reign. A reign that started last December at World's End, defeating Swerve, Hangman, and Samoa Joe in a Fatal 4-Way. Now, since then, he's gone on to face a different, level of challengers, different kind of challengers like a Bandito, a Brody King, Kevin Knight, and recently successfully defended his men's title against Hangman Adam Page in a hellacious, brutal Texas death match. Now, you look at that just immediate, 3-month resume, and for most people, that is considered a successful reign and probably the top of their career, but most people aren't MJF. Other people's grade is considered his average. Just ask him. If his reign were to end today, at least in my opinion, it would be considered a failure on most parts, but that's not going to happen. Now, he has challengers lined up, but will they be able to take the throne? We shall wait and see. But for this video, I'm going to talk about who I think not only is MJF's immediate challengers, and beyond that, I'm also going to predict who I think will take the title off of MJF eventually, whether that's in a month, a year, several years. It doesn't matter. MJF will have to bow down to somebody. And today, I'm going to reveal who I think it is. Before we get into that, go ahead and like and subscribe. It means the world to me. Go ahead and follow me out on socials at @isheartfelt. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, if I wanted to, I could run down every single male superstar on the AEW roster and be like, oh, this person has a shot at challenging, this person's a shot at challenging. But we just know it's not true. And for the sake of my time and yours, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go from immediate to a little bit down the line to way down the line. So we'll start with the here and now. As of the recording of this video, MJF is scheduled to face Kenny Omega at AEW Dynasty. Kenny won that by whooping Swerve's ass and taking his #1 contendership. Kenny Omega is, for all intents and purposes, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. His inclusion on Elite just elevates everything, and this truly is like where the best wrestle.
This is WCW, where the big boys play.
Kenny Omega did have a reign back during the pandemic that saw him take the title of TNA and all that kind of stuff. He has the cachet and the experience and the name to have a fantastic feud with MJF. Now, they already traded barbs. I suspect between now and Dynasty, they're going to trade a little more. And a Kenny Omega reign would solidify not only himself in his own eyes, because he said himself he's trying to capture the title one more time before it's all said and done, before he hangs it up, but it would also solidify Kenny as like GOAT status conversation. If you want go there, 2 big reigns in AEW, taking down AEW's biggest star, let's be honest, MJF, and this would open up the title for other feuds like the Don Callis family.
Los Pollos Muy Loco.
Other heels back with Swerve, all that kind of stuff. And on top of that, the match would be great. It would be awesome. Kenny Omega, MJF both know how to wrestle a style that is conducive to like crowd reaction. Kenny with the big moves. MJF knows how to play the heel up enough to where when the babyface does something, it's good. Now, I like Kenny. I was hesitant on him at first, but he quickly won me over, and I would love to see him get a second, title reign, and eventually he will get it. I'm predicting that. It's just not today. It's just not now. When Kenny and MJF square off at Dynasty, right now I'm predicting the winner to be MJF. I think his reign is too short, and he has so much more to do. For a person like MJF, a 4-month reign may be considered transitional, which is not. It doesn't fit MJF, if that makes sense. So anyway, MJF is going to beat Kenny Omega.
But I'm better than you, and you know it.
Let's move on to who I think will be the challenger after Kenny, and that is Darby Allin. Darby recently made it his mission to set his eyes on the AEW Men's World Title, and he is enough of a lovable babyface to where he can realistically either win some sort of #1 contendership or goat MJF into a title shot somehow. The only thing I'm a little hesitant on is if they will do this at Double or Nothing, or do it like a quick Dynamite feud. They kind of run it as a quick Dynamite couple weeks leading to a match on free TV, and great, again, similar to Kenny, not the same style, but a good match. Darby plays the ultimate underdog, like an early Jeff Hardy vibes. Actually, there's a big comparison between Darby Allin and early Jeff Hardy, just crazy stunts, throwing their body around. And definitely the crowd will be behind Darby potentially winning. However, let's be real. Darby, I don't want to say he's not championship material because that'd be rude on me, but I just don't think he's ready at this moment. Maybe back when he was Sting, he was like the baby face in the company, but right now I don't. Darby Allin for me has been losing a little much, and that coffin match recently left a lot to be desired. So I'm going to want the match. I'm going to watch the match, but I think MJF easily takes care of Darby Allin and moves on.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
Now, the reason I was hesitant on saying Darby Allin, MJF for Double or Nothing is because I'm going to throw, I do think they throw a curveball in MJF's reign for Double or Nothing if it's not Darby. I think Double or Nothing, MJF faces either Konosuke Takeshita or Kazuchika Okada. I know, out there, but just hear me out.
What a twist.
Takeshita is obviously in the midst of breaking apart from the Don Callis family. Okada doesn't want him there, and Okada's still just like weaseling himself into getting the rest of the Don Callis family to turn on Takeshita. And I hope that this takes a head at Dynasty. Now, what throws my plan into mix is they're gonna save Okada Takeshita for Double or Nothing. I can see that, but I'm gonna preface that either they put the match between Okada and Takeshita early, or they save that match for All In. How they get there, they'll figure it out. But maybe one challenges MJF for the title at Double or Nothing, and I don't want to cost him. Either way, both superstars are on a level to where they can face MJF and not be out of line. I think either one will give MJF a great match, a great feud. MJF can have a great feud with a brown paper bag if he wanted to. But I think for Double or Nothing, they switch it up. They go one of these two. Good match, good feud, a signature like marquee match for the event. But in the end, the result's the same. MJF retains. This time, I think by one costing the other. Whoever challenges MJF, one costs the other for a title, then they settle that off at All In. MJF retains either way.
Because my name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
We get to the big pay-per-view of the year. We get to All In Wembley, All In London, whatever they're calling it. And this is where I think there's only one person that realistically can face MJF for a world title in London. It's the hometown boy. It's Will Ospreay. Again, hometown London, biggest, one of their bigger baby faces coming back from injury, that the story writes itself. Will's finally trying to win the big one. Last year, I thought at the time it should have been Will versus John Moxley at All In Texas. Now, I didn't know he had an injury, and looking back, Hangman obviously was the right call. I was wrong on that. But this year, it's time. Will's back. Hopefully, he's better than ever. You know, time will tell. See if that neck holds up. I think it will. He's currently fighting as Moxley, but it's weird. I want him to win the feud. I just don't want him to win the title, because that means he'll be busy doing something else at All In. I want MJF versus Will Ospreay at All In. I think this, again, the conquering hero coming back to take the title he's never won, versus MJF playing, you know, the king, the emperor, the person that says you're not good enough, you can't do it. Give me a couple weeks of that. Give me a match at All In, and give me a Will Ospreay win. I think, should they have that match at All In, Will Ospreay wins. It would be dumb on Tony Khan and booking's part to have that moment and not have Will Ospreay take the dub. It's the emotional hero, the hometown fans, everyone in the stands crying, family comes out, whatever. It's too good of a moment to pass up. And at that point, MJF had what, a 7-month reign facing all comers. Good on him. It's Will Ospreay's time at All In. So MJF will lose his title at All In to Will Ospreay. I am booking it now. I'm stamping it. It will happen. If not, what are we doing? So that's my timeline of who I think MJF faces and eventually loses to. Now, I did throw some bonus matches in here, like MJF did with Kevin Knight. He can have like one-off or like mini feuds just to kind of get through Dynasty, Double or Nothing, and eventually All In. So I have about 5 names here who I think would be fun, even if it's just like a one-off match or like a 2-week thing. Mark Briscoe would be hilarious. Orange Cassidy would be fun. Claudio would be fun. Adam Copeland, and I think Andrade would be a sneaky, really good match with MJF. Now, I'm not saying any of them are going to win. Come on, there's nothing wrong with giving any of these guys like a 2-week title challenge. It's fun, and AEW is good at giving like multiple people world championship opportunities. So, just do it for funsies. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Again, MJF's going to have a great reign. Loses at All In to Will Ospreay. Along the way, he beats Kenny and Darby and either Takeshita or Okada and all the other people I mentioned. It's going to be a great reign, memorable reign, but it has to end. And it ends in Wembley Stadium. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think it ends sooner than that? Do you think it goes past that? Does MJF get to a year again? I'm excited to see. But as always, go ahead and follow me at all socials as Heartfelt. If you enjoyed the video and you're here this long, go ahead and consider subscribing. It means a lot to me. Consider a like, a share. I don't know how the algorithm works, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. And yeah, have a great day. Peace.